on that stuff. Weight loss coffee is the worst. Oh my gosh. No, do not do that again. I'll be up till 4 a.m.
That I don't drink at night.
Hey everyone, how is everybody doing tonight? I am really excited. You know, well, let's see, it's June, what is it? June 2nd. June 1st is the start of the second half of the year, but I also like to call it the third quarter of the year because I believe in 90-day cycles. So if you've been following along a little bit with us and you've been on some of my training, you know I usually do something around like the 90-day start of the new 90-day cycle, and I always just do that because I really go by that. I really take my business to all new heights in 90-day cycles. So, you know, anytime I'm going to commit to something, I know that it's going to take me 90 days of, you know, rapid growth and massive action and things like that. So, more than likely you're here because you're in Sisel. I hope you all are in Sisel. If you're not, you need to leave. Just kidding. We're all friends here. So, you know, it's just that is the way I've always ran my business. I know that things really do happen in 90-day cycles, and in fact, when I'm even sponsoring people or I'm talking to people about the business, I tell them that it's 90 days of consistent action. So we're going to be talking a lot about that and goal setting, and also, you know, really mapping out your day, mapping out the next 90 days, and pretty much anything that we need to do to help you succeed in your Sisel business. So if you have questions, you have things that you want to add, this is your chance. This is more of an open line of communication. So we want you guys to come on live. So if you're watching, you know, join us live. We way rather have you on live and actually communicating and talking with us and telling us your burning desires and your wants and needs and whatever else. So welcome everyone. I'm just really quick going to introduce people. If you can come on, I know Stephanie can't talk really, so if you can come on, please do so and just say hello. Welcome Stephanie Stone over there. Geez, Montana girl. Welcome Stephanie. And we got Mary Noonan over there in North Carolina, and we actually got 2 people in North Carolina. They're beating us tonight. And then Laura, where's Laura live? Maybe Elliot knows.
El Paso.
El Paso. Okay, I see a cat. I don't see you. Come on camera, guys. I don't like talking to pictures.
I am on camera.
You are?
Yeah.
Huh. Why don't I see
you?
Oh, there, now I see you. Okay. So maybe it's only showing pictures.
No, it might just be your feed right now. I saw her when you only saw a cat.
Okay. Now I see her now. Okay. Okay. Problem solved. Okay, well, it's good to have you on, Laura. We're really excited you're here. And then we've got Elliot, the rock star. Team Elliot's going wild. I think
wild and crazy.
Some catnip. A lot of momentum happening. I'm really excited about that. I want to talk about that too because I want to congratulate people that are really making it happen in their business.
It's all the late night lattes.
It must be. Or you're not doing the weight loss coffee, are you?
I do it every other morning.
Every other morning? What, you're scared you might lose too much weight?
I got a good 15 pounds I could go through.
Yeah, I need that stuff to wake up, or I'm a mean. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not that mean. Jeff will tell you I'm mean though, but I don't think I'm that mean because I can't smell myself. All right, and Bill, another North Carolina. How you doing, Bill?
Good. How you guys?
I'm awesome.
Yeah, Bill.
I am doing awesome. Very awesome. I'm very excited because the second half of the year, I know it's just going to be explosive growth for our team. It's already exploding right now. I mean, everybody sees it. People are coming in. A lot of people taking action right now, which is even more exciting. And it's just an exciting time. I really feel like, I don't know about you guys, but I can smell it in the air. Like it just lingering.
I can't smell it in the air.
You can only smell yourself, that's why. All that horrible BO. HBO.
No, it's good. There's a lot of excitement, a lot of energy. It's good.
Yeah, I think so too. Everybody's smiling. So I wanted to talk about 90-day cycles, and some of this might be some stuff that you've already heard if you've been around for a while, but this is for people that are really, really eager to get their business going. And I want to applaud you, all of you that are on with me right now, because that says a lot. It tells me that you're committed to this team. It tells me that you're committed to your success in your Sisel business and that you mean it. That to me, showing up. I was just having a conversation actually with Angela Hardy, and I don't know if you guys know who she is. She's an MMT, but she just recently joined our Sisel team as well, and she apologized for asking a lot of questions. And honestly, I told her, I said, you should apologize if you're not asking questions. Because to me, if you're not showing up to training, if you're not asking questions, and you're not like pulling up my skirt like, April, I need help or something, then you're not in business. I can't tell that you're working. I don't know that you're working. And, that to me just says that you're not active right now, or maybe you're taking a break or however it is that you're whatever is going on in your life. But I like to see some activity. So, of course, 90-day cycles, they happen, quarterly. So we can say that right now is quarter three. Quarter three is particularly important, in my opinion, because quarter three is going to lead you to quarter four, which is going to push you into 2015. And if you really want to get 2015 started off with a lot of momentum in your business, it starts now. Your 2015 is actually starting right now. I mean, this is June. Hold on one second. I got kids running around. 1 second. Elliot, finish up.
This is June, and that means it's June. I'm not exactly sure where she was going with that. I think the point is that activities that are happening now are what carry
I
you
had to yell at
through.
them. I'm back.
Which carry you through to now. I'm going to finish.
Go ahead.
Which carry you through to next year. Speaking for myself, I know a lot of things that I started for me it was like August or so. Things I started then really started kind of paying off around March. So, there's that 6-month kind of lag time between. You see results with things. It's not like you do stuff and nothing happens, but a lot of the things that you'll work on and that you kind of build this foundation up. You just need to remember that you're doing it not for next week. You're doing it for to keep compiling on itself over time.
Yeah, it's consistent effort. Everything that you're doing right now in your business builds on itself. So what Elliot is saying is so true. Like if you're putting marketing out there or you are contacting leads or you're prospecting, eventually all of that adds up and it builds on itself. So if you're 90 days of consistent effort and you're actually contacting 5 or more people per day about Sisel, that at the end of 90 days is 5 times 90. Elliot, you're a genius. Go ahead and add that up. How many people is that? If you're just doing 5 a day for 90 days.
450.
450 people. So you can imagine out of 450 people, let's say your X factor is that you have to talk to 30 people before one says yes, which isn't them just you throwing that number out there. Everybody's X factor is different, but let's say that's the case. I mean, then you're looking at, divide that up, guys. I'm blonde, so you're looking at a lot of people joining your business in a 90-day period. But here is the thing, especially in this industry, that's after 9 contacts. So you've contacted that person 9 times on average, or had, not contacted them like pushing them into, but I mean, had some kind of question, something. I mean, Elliot, am I right? I mean, how many times do you go back and forth with somebody before they actually finally join?
Many times. Yeah, I mean, some it's 3 or 4, some it's
forever.
Or more. Yeah, I mean, forever. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like it, right? And then all of a sudden they join, and it's like, after that, all of that. So that is how it works, and that's why a lot of people, what happens is they will start and stop, start and stop, start and stop. And I say start and stop because that's what they do. They start, they get going in their business, and then they stop for a while, and then they start again, and then they stop for a while. And it has to really be that consistent effort in order for it to really, really work. So 90 days of really, really like massive action, taking what we're telling you to do, taking it to the next level. Like if you want to really get rapid results fast, then you talk to 10 or more people. In my opinion, that's going to get you the fastest results per day. Okay? And if you don't do that and you stop, okay, because a lot of times people, what they'll do is they'll start and stop because they're not seeing a result right away. Well, like I said, the results come later. I mean, some people you're going to have to talk to 9 or more times, or have some kind of, interaction with them 9 or more times before they're actually going to join. And that's where people like this, they start running out of breath, like a marathon runner. They start to feel like, oh, I can't breathe anymore. You're running, and all of a sudden you're just like, you're like you can't run anymore because you're out of breath. And people will stop because of that reason, because it's like they've been kicked in the teeth or whatever by prospecting, and people are telling them no, or they're feeling discouraged, or they're feeling inadequate, or whatever it is that's kind of making them feel like they're worn out or they've had enough. They stop, and then they start all over, because if you stop, then you have to start all over. It doesn't work like start, stop, do this here. Do it when you feel like it. It can't be like that. So what I see a lot of people do, and this is not you guys, I'm just saying in particular, like just because I've sponsored hundreds upon hundreds of people in the industry, is they treat their business like a hobby rather than an actual business. So it's so funny because they'll show up to their job, but they won't show up to their business, because they're like, well, because you can be like, and I do this sometimes too, where I'm like, well, I don't really have to get that done until next week. I mean, that doesn't really have to get done. I mean, I'm the boss, so if I don't want to do it, well, guess what? If I don't do it, then I don't get the result. Guys. That means nobody gets the result if you don't do the work. And that goes into kind of like what Elliot and I were talking about a few weeks ago, is reaping or sowing those seeds, starting those seeds now and doing the 90 days. Because if you look at a seed, how does it grow? If you plant the seed today, you might see it sprout next week, and you give it some sunlight and you give it a little water, and you start watching it grow. But when's it going to really start to bear some fruit or give you tomatoes on your tomato plant or anything like that? It's going to be 90 days or longer. That's when you start to see the fruit from your labor. And that's why I think I go by the 90 days. I look at anything that, even like a workout, or if I want to lose some weight, and I do this, I'm worse, like with the weight loss stuff. Like I like sugar, like I'm a carboholic. So for me, what I oftentimes do, and I see myself do this in cycles, in cycles, get it? Ladies might. Anyways, what I do is I'll buy a bunch of vegetables and say I'm going to eat really healthy, and I'm going to have a potato for dinner, and I'm going to have chicken and green beans, and I'm going to have fresh everything and no processed crap. So I buy all this stuff, and I last for a little bit, and then all of a sudden, next thing I know, some of the lettuce is rotting. I didn't eat it because I was eating other bad things, and this happens to everybody. We're human. We get off track. But the thing is if you get off track, what do? Do you sit there and just go eat a bag of chips and say, oh, for me, I'll just eat a bag of chips. So I screwed up the diet. Who gives a crap? I'll just go back to doing what I was already doing and screw it all. Or do you get back on the wagon and decide to, continue, even you might have messed up a little bit, but, you need good health if you want to live a long and healthy life and enjoy the financial freedom that you're getting from Sisel. And do you get back on the wagon and just start from scratch? Of course you do, and that's what we want you to do too. So don't think that if you stop And Elliot's making a weird face.
Yeah, that's because I keep eating chips. Is that
Oh,
bad?
yeah, I thought you were making a weird face. No, it is bad. Stop doing that. You're clogging your arteries. But anyways, it's not that it's bad. I don't think it's bad to do things like that once in a while. I'm just saying, if you're really like trying to go for it. I'm using the weight loss as an example because people can usually relate to that pretty easily. So for like your business, like if you stop and you mess up and you decide that, hey, I'm going to go have that pizza with my best friend and not do my business today, don't think it's the end of the world, because sometimes we'll think that too. You need to make sure that you stay on that path. That's okay. Tomorrow's a new day. We start over and we continue where we left off. But I'm just saying that if you really wanted to get the results that you want, it's very consistent effort of talking to people and getting, Sisel in front of, exposing them to the opportunity, exposing them to, a webinar, exposing them to one of the presentations that we have recorded for you at our team site, and it's really making that consistent effort. So, Elliot, if you want to chime in, I don't want to steal all of it, but
No, that was good. Where do you want me to go from there?
well, I know like a lot of people want to know, how do we really, plan for the next 90 days. So I thought maybe we would talk about, really planning like some goals. I know we've done goal training before, but like briefly touching on that, and then maybe going over daily method of operation.
Yeah, you know what I just realized though?
What?
Quarter three doesn't start until July 1st.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
This is the second half of the year, no?
Not
Okay,
till
I
after,
did this before. I did this
not,
before.
not till
Jeff
after the
was just
sixth
like, I was
month
just
is
telling
over.
Jeff, I said, I think the challenge is over.
Yeah,
Oh,
once the
well,
sixth
we're
month is
starting
over.
sooner. Thank you for letting me know, because I've been like, people
But
are like that stupid blonde.
but for me, it's perfect because I started a 90-day kind of plan at the end of February, beginning of March, and now I'm at the end of that, so I'm going into like another 90 days. So it's the first of the month. You can start a 90-day cycle whenever you want to. So
Yeah, that's true.
we'll just ignore the third quarter part.
Thank you for making me feel better.
I was just thinking about that. I was like,
It
wait a
wouldn't
second.
be interesting, but you know what? Nobody was thinking about it. You didn't have to bring it up. Everybody would have just said, "Yay, it's the quarter!"
Sorry about that.
Nobody would have gave a crap. Did you guys know any better? Anybody? Maybe Bill did. He's kind of smart.
No,
Everybody noticed, 'cause
everybody was
I
buying in.
didn't.
Well, anyway, quarter three starts today, yesterday. No, I mean, I guess just a little bit about what, the way I kind of ended up breaking things down for myself was, and what I'm in the process of doing now is just looking at, what are some bigger kind of landmark kind of goals I want to do over 90 days. Um, that can range anywhere from, for myself, it's, having my personal website traffic to a certain point, things that I can put a number on, and they might be a little lofty because there's not a real exact way to get there. Although my goal for the last 3 months for my site, I completely blew it out of the water. So, and I thought 3 months ago that what I was talking about for traffic was going to be impossible to do. So, but what it came down to was, setting some of these bigger goals, like, how big I want my team to be, what kind of, volume do you want to do, and for me personally, putting numbers on things helps a lot. So anything you can attach a number to really, for me at least, works. But then just backing up from that and looking at what do I need to do in order to make those things happen, and then I don't really pay attention to the numbers all that much. Maybe every few weeks to a month I'll kind of check progress, but for the most part, it's a matter of putting the processes in place every single day that you want to hit these certain things every single day, 90% of the time. And like April said, you're not, things come up. I've got kids. People on here have kids. You got jobs and we've got all these other things going on. So it's not a matter of like, wow, I just missed that everything I wanted to do that day. I missed it. I might as well just stop my 90 days. It's just you just start again the next day. And so I don't know. Do you want to go into specifics, April?
Yeah, well, I do. And I just want to point out, too, like today, the day just got away from itself. Like I was on the phone, the dogs, the kids. My kids are off of school, guys, already. And I've just been like, and it's busy at my house. I got 3 of them. So today I was like, I think it was like 5 o'clock, and I was like, wow, I did not get a blog post done. And I'm like, whoa, I need to get my blog post done. Because for me, like what I've decided to do is Monday through Friday, no matter what, if it's 11 o'clock at night and I still haven't gotten a piece of content out, to get a piece of content out. I want consistent activity in that area. I want to make sure that I'm monetizing and all of this stuff because I market online. So I made myself, even though it was dinner time, my kids were like, I'm hungry, my stomach's growling, I made myself just do it. And so I'm like, okay, it's just going to be a quick one. I got it done, sent it out to my list, really short and sweet email, and I just did, right? So, like, sometimes we have days like that, especially if you have kids and you're a mom or whatever, you know what it's like. It's like, okay, the day's gotten away. And me, I mean, we've got a growing team here. I'm on the phone a lot. I'm also recruiting, so I'm communicating and following up with people. And the next thing I know, where'd my day go? Oh my gosh, it's 5 o'clock. So I just did it. I told myself, I committed, and I made a decision that I was going to make sure that I did this every day, no matter what, Monday through Friday. Okay? So if you really commit and make a decision, so it's a lot different if we sit here and we tell you goals, this, that, all that stuff. But if you guys really, like, seriously commit to your business, commit to your success in Sisel, commit to achieving financial freedom, I mean, the first step is showing up. You guys did that. Yay. Awesome. But the second step is to commit, commit. So I would like to see everybody here committing to their business, committing to their financial freedom. And I see a lot of people take that lightly, and I think that has to do with belief. They're not really believers that they can actually achieve it. But I will tell you from experience that it is so much nicer to work for yourself. It really is, because this is all I do. This is all I do, guys. This is my work. I work from home, and this is it. It means I have time and freedom. And most people would love to have time and freedom, and it's true. You can do this. It's very achievable. So, if your belief's not there yet, just start taking action. It will set in. I promise you. I didn't believe when I started my network marketing business. I told Jeffrey, don't expect me to sell anything when he signed me up for the first time, right? And I was serious. I didn't want nothing to do with selling anything, or I didn't know anything about financial freedom. I just know punching a time clock and doing what the boss tells me to do, and that's that, right? And then what ended up happening was I started to see success in Jeff. I started to see things really start to happen in his business. I started to get the idea that maybe I could do it, so I started taking action. And then through action, belief started to kick in. And once belief started to kick in, then of course the belief gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And eventually you find yourself doing hangouts like this, talking on stage, and things start to get easier, but it doesn't happen unless you do it. Okay, so you have to do it and you have to take action, or it's not going to happen ever. So I want to talk a little bit about goals, okay? Just because I think they are powerful. Some people might disagree. They might think that goals are, whatever. I used to think that they weren't real. Like, I never used to write down my goals. I'm trying to find my notebook here. I got a couple of them out. But I'll just grab this one. So anyways, this is actually my prosperity journal for a challenge that I'm doing right now. But if you just go to like Walmart and you get yourself a composition notebook, I'm sure some of you have one already, And this way you're able to write your goals down. Okay, now what I do is I do goals. I mean, there's long-term goals, there's short-term goals. So like every 90 days, I'll do a new set of goals. And I like June because it is, to me, it's the number 6. There's 12 months in a year. That's smack dab in the middle. That's why I think that way. I think quarterly as far as September being 9, and then the end of the year, of course, would be 12, okay? And so that's why I think that way. But just writing down your goals, what you want to really achieve in life, okay? I mean, I know what I want. I want to sail away. I say this all the time. I'm sailing away on a yacht. I'll be playing the song, Sail Away, and just waving, and bye, kids, bye, everyone. And I want to sail the world. That's what I want to do. I love the ocean. I love to be on a boat. It's where I feel most free. I also want a property on the ocean. I know there's certain things that I want. I want to be able to put my children through the best of the best colleges. These are things that I want. These are long-term goals. I mean, my oldest is 14, believe it or not, so it's not too far off. But, my youngest is 8, and they're just longer-term goals. I know that these are things that I have some time to work on, and I know the vehicle that I'm driving to get there is Sisel. So all I need to do is make sure that I'm taking the necessary actions to get me there, through 90-day increments, year increments. So I reevaluate my goals every year, to make sure that I'm fixing and refining. Every 90 days I reevaluate my goals, and then every month I do it again. And then every week I reevaluate my goals, adjust them, make sure that I'm mapping it out and putting my daily method of operation in play and all that stuff. So I know what I need to do every day. I know, and actually I can, if you don't, you can get like Google Calendar or whatever. If you don't have a schedule, you need to write a schedule. You need to write it down. Write down what you're going to be doing from 11 o'clock at night until 7 o'clock in the morning. Is that sleep? Then you need to write it down. Don't leave things to question. You need to have a definitive plan, a definitive goal, all of it. Okay? Don't leave it up in the air. This is something that I had done in the past for far too long. And once I really started to write down what I'm supposed to be doing from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock, and what I'm supposed to be doing from the moment I wake up till lunchtime, okay, then things start to really change, because now you don't leave anything to question. You know what you're supposed to be doing on a day-to-day basis to grow your Sisel business. And if you're not sure what you need to be doing to grow your Sisel business, then you need to get with somebody. Now, my daily method of operation is probably different than Elliot's, because Elliot's working on his financial freedom at the moment. But mine is, wake up in the morning, go for a walk, do my mindset at the same time. I'm a great multitasker. And sometimes even while I'm on the phone, I'll go on, actually every time I get on the phone, I go on a walk. I just do, because that actually it enables me to think clearer, but it also enables me to get away from the computer so I don't get what I like to call secretary ass. So anyways, so that's like, then I come home, I take my shower because I'm nice and sweaty and I need to get cleaned up, and then it's get some content out, because I know if I don't get my content out first thing in the morning, or first thing, like today, I didn't get it out. I ended up getting on the phone, had to call customer support, doing all these crazy things. I didn't get it out until later. So I know morning time is the best time. I think clearer at that time. I'm just able to have a fresh mind. That's the best time for me to do it. So I do it then, and then of course then it's lunchtime, and time with, if I want to, I can do time with the kids. So I follow a schedule, guys. And then in the evening time, I know that that's time for me to follow up with people, because people are home in the evening. Why? Because they work jobs. Most people work jobs. So usually, like if you're doing any type of follow-up or calling prospects, I know Jeff wants to do some lead training where you guys call leads together and stuff. Then what you'll want to do is you'll want to make sure that you schedule that in the evening, because that's going to be the best time to reach people. Now, the majority of your day, guys, it should go to following up and contacting new people about Sisel. So if you're contacting, 5 or more people per day about Sisel, then that should really be if you're only able to work your business 2 hours a day, then you know that that's, an hour a day. But I mean, you can talk to people about Sisel all day long while you're out and about doing grocery shopping, all kinds of stuff. You can multitask that too. But, if you can kind of get the idea of where you need to be, I mean, it's really 70% of your day, 70% of your business, what you're working on, your Sisel business should go to, filling the pipeline and then following up. Okay, because the gold is in the follow-up. Remember when I was telling you that it's usually about 9 or more times of contact with the person that you're working on before they actually join. Adriana just sponsored her first person into Sisel, and I know she's been working like crazy, and she's got another person coming on Friday, and I know that it probably took her a few months to sponsor her first person because she's been working on them, maybe strengthening a relationship. She's getting results on the weight loss coffee. Her friend's probably noticing it, wants to get results too. You know what I mean? So it can kind of take some time, especially when you're, talking to friends, family. You're talking to strangers. When you're talking to strangers, sometimes it takes a little bit longer even. So just keep that in mind when you're going through your prospecting and things like that. I want you guys to be prepared for that, because to me, I don't want you to be like, why is this taking so long, or anything like that. Now, it could take a lot less. I mean, like Elliot said, it could be 3 or 4 times you talk to them. It could be the first time you talk to them. They're like, yeah, this is cool. You sign them up right at their dinner table, But that's not normally the case. Sometimes you get lucky. So I just want you guys to be mentally prepared for that. Know what's normal. And even somebody like myself, who generates leads online, has been a top producer in her company and all of this stuff, it takes me time. I build relationships with people, guys. I don't sit here and say join until they join and have this magic wand that all of a sudden makes them want to join. Anybody that I sponsor that's on this call knows that I built a relationship. I took, I made friends with you. I care about you. You knew that I cared about you, and we can go into prospecting and talking to people all day long. I don't like to really call it prospecting, but, I build relationships with people, and that's what really kind of takes the time, because you have to get people to trust you, to trust the business, to trust the products. So there's trust that has to be, built there, and that's what takes time, because it's not like, Elliot met his wife and the next thing you know, they're getting married the same day. That just doesn't happen. And I use that analogy because a business partnership is like a marriage. You're really seriously like partnering with somebody. And keep this in mind too when you're talking to people. Do you really want to partner with certain people? You know what I mean? Because you are building a business together, and that's the one really cool thing that I really like about this, business, is that I can pick and choose who I want to work with. I couldn't pick and choose who I wanted to work with at the casino. Trust me, I had some problems with people. I didn't like a lot of them, So if you don't like who you're working with, you can't really do much about it. All you have to do is just deal. But if you are in our business, you don't have to work with them. Like, I'm not going to go sponsor all those girls at the casino, actually, because they're just not, they're not qualified to do what I do. They are fine running around in high heels all night and killing themselves. And for me, that wasn't okay, So just think about that. Think about people that you want to work with, people that you could see yourself partnering with, and approach them about the business, but don't approach them in a way that will make them feel like they're being sold, or that you just want to sell them something or whatever. Approach them in a way that that they know you care. That's the one thing I always tell people. Make sure you tell them you care. I've been working with Angela a lot and teaching her how to, talk to people on Facebook, and she's been asking me questions, and I'm always telling her, I'm like, just let them know that you care. Let them know that you care. When you're following up with somebody, don't just say, hey, how's the presentation or that you saw, or how'd you like the coffee? Say, hey, you've been on my mind. I was just thinking about you. How have you been? Don't just be like, so business, because people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So if you can actually, show them that you care because you're actually genuinely concerned about their well-being and not how much they're going to buy in Sisel products, then people will be very appreciative and they'll open up to you. Okay, it's just the same with anything. It's just like when you're nurturing your kids and you're disciplining them, you still have to show them you care and tell them that they did this wrong. But listen, you have to be punished because I love you and I care about you. If I didn't punish you and didn't teach you the right way while you're young, that would mean I didn't love you. It's the same kind of thing. So, anybody wanna add to, or hey Jim, how you doing? Can you hear us okay? I don't think so. Jim, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, how you doing?
Sorry. Pretty good. How you doing?
We're doing good. Were you
Awesome.
watching?
I'm sorry?
Were you watching?
No, I was on a training thing, so I ran late, and we had a little kid war around the house and took care of
Yeah,
that.
I just did too. Oh, we got a new preferred customer in our downline. I don't know who that is. Got all these notifications coming in. So I'm really excited you joined us. We were just talking about 90-day cycles and goal setting and mindset and just all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff. So I'd love some feedback too if you have any. Elliot, anybody got some feedback or anything that they want to add to what I just said, or things that maybe you've noticed in your own business even?
From a like daily method of operation standpoint.
Yeah, from anything I just said. I mean,
Well, you said a lot.
I know. I
Um,
keep going. I'm pulling a Jeff tonight. No, I was kidding.
No, I mean, I think for me, the big challenge was balancing, everything that I wanted to accomplish in a day, in a week, in a month, with everything that I wanted to do in life, obviously, and family, kids, and all of that kind of stuff. And I'm still not all that great at it, to be quite honest with you. Um, you know, my wife and I keep tweaking as we go, and we've set certain hours for to mute the phones and that kind of stuff, because as you get active, it's, for me at least, it's very difficult to then stop. It's
Yeah, you
you
can't.
get all this momentum going, and all of a sudden you realize you're waiting for a message and your phone goes off and you're like, oh, well, who is it? And so for me and for everyone, I think it's really important to not get consumed by the actions you want to start taking. So kind of figuring out for yourself where those balances are. For me, I was always up late, but so I would be productive late. My wife goes to bed early, so I'm up doing stuff after that, and so there's a balance there. But really, for me, it was just trying to keep a consistent schedule. When you're balancing so many different things, work, family, obligations, having those time blocks really set to, early morning, for me is workout, meditation, planning kind of stuff for the day. Work, breaks on work, I'll usually have a call scheduled on breaks at work, and during lunch I'm usually doing a couple calls during lunch. And I always have one or two calls right after work up until 6 o'clock when the phones are supposed to go down. So it's a lot of stuff packed in there, but and it doesn't always work out that way. But setting that schedule, I think, and blocking out times for certain activities is really important. Because if you know every day from 7 in the morning until 8 in the morning, you're going to make your list of 5 people or whatever it is, or maybe you've bought a lead list and you're prioritizing who you're calling or whatever it is. block that time out so that you know every morning at 7 o'clock this is what you're doing. Because otherwise it's very easy just not to get to it. So I mean, and scheduling things sounds like it makes sense, but in my experience, it's not as easy as just scheduling things, because there's a lot of things that you really can be doing and should be doing. So, and even for me, I don't really block things like I don't really get all that specific with time blocks. I'm more, from 8 until midnight, I'm doing a set of, obviously we do webinars and stuff like that. But so I don't do a whole lot of like content creation, or I'm not really on the phone late at night or anything like that, unless it's Jeff. April would probably argue about that.
Yeah, those two, I swear. They're like long lost best friends. They met through me. That's the crazy part. I'm like the middle person. I like what you're saying though, because for me, like I need to, if it's not done, I know that it's going to take longer, then I need to just continue to work on it. You know what I mean? Or stop and then get it finished later on when the kids are in bed or whatever. And I think that's really key. Guys, like we don't just stop doing what we need to do. We need to make sure that we get it done. We need to make time. A lot of times I hear people say, "Oh, I don't have time." Yeah, you do actually. You just got to make it. You got to make it. You got to force yourself to make time,
Yeah, like I don't watch 24 at 8 or 9 o'clock at night. I watch it at midnight.
You guys, I don't have cable. I have internet cable, but we don't have cable. We cut that off seriously, 5 years ago, 6 years ago. When we moved to Florida, that was the last of it. We never had cable when we moved to Florida. And the reason is because it's the #1 income killer. And why pay all that money for garbage? To me, it's like, okay, we do watch movies. We have Hulu if we want to watch it, but it's scheduled. I don't make time to watch TV shows. That's not in my schedule. In the evening time, I'm doing webinars. I'm investing in myself, education-wise. I'm doing my own webinars. These are things that I'm doing. I don't have time to watch TV. I wouldn't be where I'm at today if I watched TV. Seriously, I know I wouldn't, because I know how addicting those shows can be, and I do like certain shows. I just know that Friday nights are night to watch with the kids, and then if the weekend, if we want to, and Saturday and Sunday too, or Saturday night we'll do it. But those are the only times. You have to have downtime too, though. Just remember.
It's funny, April, because some of you might know Jordan Adler, he's a top income earner in network marketing in general, and a great guy. When he told me, and this was years and years and years ago, that his business changed when he threw away his TVs. He actually didn't have TVs in his house, not just like canceled cable. He did not have a TV in his house.
Wow.
And,
yeah, see, and I've thought about doing that too, just for my kids' sake.
Yeah, I mean, so and I never went to that extreme, but it really it is it is true that it really does it kills so much time. It really does. It really does. And honestly, if you're building Sisel and you've got a job, there really isn't time to watch it. So, like I said, unless it's after midnight and you're unproductive, so you just lay around and watch TV anyway. Not saying I do that. I'm just saying.
Well, some guys have to fall asleep to it. Jeff does. He likes to watch it on his tablet. And I'm not. I don't like to do that because it actually overstimulates. I don't believe that. I believe it overstimulates. So I don't do that. I do check my. I will tell you I check my Instagram too much.
Yeah, I think you're addicted to that now.
I'm so addicted. No, today actually I didn't have time for it. I just didn't. I wanted to post more and I just didn't. So my blog post up. I'll probably post later. And it's kind of active at night anyway, so I'll probably post a couple more times, and that'll be it.
You should do a version of your Instagram, like how it would relate to Sisel.
I was thinking about doing that. I was thinking about starting a new, or or changing the one I have into more like my Sizzle, and I've already been kind of doing that anyways, but kind of keeping them separate, like one's Sizzle and one is like, you know, what I do, my brand and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about doing that. I might do that. And I've been kind of testing and playing with some things. I have been getting leads for Sizzle on Instagram, but I'm not consistently posting like about, you know what I mean? It's more I'm sharing other things there, and I've got something else on my bio. But I was gonna try, and I've talked to other people too that went through my training, and they actually did just do it for their company. That they're getting some pretty qualified leads there. So yeah, I mean, it's a work in progress. I'll test it out and see what happens. I'll say, like, in my bio, like, you know, something about see what's creating extraordinary incomes and stuff or something, and put that in there.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of this, like, if you guys don't like the Sizzle International Facebook page, facebook.com/Sizzle International, they post a lot of good stuff there. They've got a lot of like images they've shared with, you know, funny kind of product stuff or really.
Yeah,
cool.
I've posted some on Instagram.
Yeah. I mean,
website.
so they're like, I feel like a lot of the Sizzle stuff really does translate to photos really well, and a lot of them are pretty catchy. And you know, April's got some tricks to like do your own kind of stuff too, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah, you can just share them even over there if you want to. What I did was I favorited their page, so I get notifications when they post. Although I get a lot of notifications, sometimes I miss stuff. But that way I can keep track. Oh, I like this one. It says another great reason for taking the Ultimate Body Sculpting Challenge. You can become a better role model for your child, and then it's got like a overweight kid on there with brownies.
Oh yeah,
and all
that one's
kinds of
funny.
stuff. Yeah, I put the one where he's like, a great reason to Ultimate Body Sculpting Challenge, so your luxury bonus can be a better fit, so you can put your seatbelt on in your new car. So that kind of stuff, yeah, I mean, you can totally use that. And what I see is like people putting the fat pictures up on Instagram a lot, and I can see how that would work. I mean, I'm kind of like, whoa, what's that product? You know, I feel that way. So it's like posting some pictures of before and afters, like from the, you know, the last challenge is really a good idea too.
I really didn't mean to get you sidetracked on Instagram.
Yeah, I don't know why you did that. I'm so easily persuaded, Elliot. What you do? So Laura, how are you been?
I've been fine.
Been fine. Okay, cool. So
Not
anybody,
really this month.
you know what? I wanted to add to a little bit more of the training too, and I've actually been watching. I told Elliot he needs to add it back there. I've been listening to the Compound Effect. I just started it today. I had never even actually heard of the book until recently. I joined a 100-day Biz Builder Challenge, and so I just started listening to it on YouTube. So Elliot's gonna find it and put it back there. But I would encourage you guys to listen. It's a short one. It's like 3 hours of. I mean, that's nothing compared to like. I'm listening to Think and Grow Rich, and it's like a 24-hour one, right? So it's really a short one that you could probably listen to within a couple days or whatever in your car or whatever. It's an audio book, and I really liked it. I didn't know that what I was doing, because I've always tracked my results. Actually, lately I haven't been, which is really bad. So today I'm like, I got to start tracking my results. But I always have trained on tracking results. And today I'm listening to, you know, the Compound Effect, and he starts talking about the number one thing he did to achieve success was tracking his results. And, you know, that is such a powerful, powerful, powerful thing to do. And I know because I've done it a lot in the past, and it's really allowed me to analyze my business on a whole nother level and know what I'm doing to achieve the results that I'm doing. So having just a journal to track your progress, and I like to call it a progress report really, because there's certain things that you need to look at in your business that you should track progress of, you know. If you're our marketer online, it might be a little bit different. Like myself, I do lead generation. How many leads did I get today? You know, how many people joined my email list? You know, how many pieces of content did I get out? How many people did I talk to about my business? How many people did I follow up with? You know, and making sure that you're really tracking that. But it can be little things too, and sometimes people, they don't And I like to see people actually, because I think that it actually, when they're tracking the results that they're getting and seeing progress on paper, it's a lot different than seeing it in a whole, right? So like all together, it's like, it's all jumbled up into one big rubber band mess ball, okay? But if you can put it on paper and you can actually see the little results, like you got somebody to say yes about watching a webinar, well, that to me is progress, okay? So little things even. Let's say you picked up the phone to call somebody and you're afraid of the phone. I mean, that's a win, okay? To me, in my opinion, that's a win because I was fearful of the phone. And I know that, by me putting on paper that I contacted 5 leads per day and I can see that progress, because inactivity breeds doubt and fear and all kinds of stuff. It makes you become procrastinator, all of these things. But if you can actually write it down on paper, you start waking up with a whole new sense of yourself, your business, everything, because now you're actually seeing the progress. You're feeling like things are really starting to move into a direction and momentum starts to pick up because you're gonna the activity that you do today leads to more activity tomorrow and the next day and the next day, right? So I would do that. Like if you're kind of feeling like you're in a rut, or especially, I don't care where you're at really, I think everybody should track their progress, and especially after hearing the compound effect and him like really explaining what I was actually already doing. I was like, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that makes sense now, why I was getting the results that I was getting, and, because I was keeping track of everything. So if I had, 60 people join my list that day, and then I wrote it down, I had 64 people join my list that day. So at midnight, of course, or before I'd go to bed, I'd be checking my Aweber to make sure I wrote down what I had joined my list that day. If you made a new friend on Facebook and you're using Facebook to network with people, and you just happen to make a new friend on Facebook, and that's a win for you, then you should write down that progress in your business, because that's progress, and that's activity that's going to lead to more activity later, because now you're going to follow up with that person. It's also a good idea because when you can kind of see, and you can see the progress that you're making because you're tracking it every day, you can see where you need to improve. So if you only talk to 3 people about your business or expose 3 people to Sisel that day, then now you wrote that down and you know that you need to talk to more people than 3 people, because that's going to take you a lot longer to build your business than you'd like. So now you can write down your to-do list, right? You can say, you need to make sure that you're following up with 5 people or more. Now you got to be telling yourself, and I do this to myself, I'm the boss. So and I know I'm the boss. So if I tell myself you need to do it, then I know I need to do it. So I can tell myself and give myself direct orders on paper, you see. So if I know I need to make sure that because there's days where I don't talk to enough people. It happens to everybody. So if I know on paper that I did not talk to enough people that day, then I know the next day that I need to yell at myself to talk to more people, and I'll write that down. Do it, April. Talk to 5 or more people, or else, So just again to give you guys an idea. But have you guys? How many of you have tracked your progress before? Really, had like a tracking journal of tracking things.
Well, I do a spreadsheet for some things. Because I know for me personally, like writing stuff down I've got I can't keep stuff confined very well to a notebook, so I do documents. But yeah.
Yeah, see me. You should see my desktop. Forget it. My computer's the most disorganized mess ever. I'm almost like, April, why'd you buy all this room? Uh-oh. Just so you can make more of a mess out of it. I gotta clean my desktop. I gotta do that. I'm gonna do it. So I was just kind of curious if anybody's ever tracked their progress. We track our bank accounts. That's kind of tracking progress. If you've ever counted calories, then you've tracked progress. If you've ever had a food journal, if you've been on a weight loss regimen or whatever, then you've tracked progress. You might not know you have, but you have. And it's different when you can see it, you know what I mean? Like if you're really budgeting, you know, for your family or whatever. In fact, I want to do this. I want to sit down and I want to make sure that I'm tracking what I'm spending, because you know, you need to be able to see what's going in and what's coming out as a business owner and even as a household runner, you know what I mean? So that might be an area of your life if you want to improve, you know, because you want to save more money, okay, or you want to save up for something or whatever, then you should track where you're spending and where you can cut back and where you or have money that's, you know what I mean? And it eventually, and I liked what he was saying on this audio, it was that eventually you'll find yourself not wanting to pull the notepad out so you won't spend. You know what I mean? Because right now I've got some things that I've got some big goals for that I want, right? So I know that I should be doing that anyways as a business owner, but he really made a lot of sense to me because I was like, yeah, because I mean, I just, like, we'll be out and I'll just, like, take me to a store and I just start throwing stuff in the cart. Like, I'm just blindly shopping. Sounded good at the time. It, you know, it looked good at the time. I was hungry, so I bought too much crap, you know. And we all kind of do that, but think about it, if we could really track it, how much we would eliminate and how much we would actually be able to save, you know, for later on, you know, because we should be saving. I believe that, you know, we should be saving as much as we can, you know. So just to kind of give you some ideas as far as tracking progress goes, I mean, you probably have done it, you know, but you probably just haven't done it in a way that you're doing it to build your business. And if you did it to build your business, then you'd have lots and lots of progress to track, and you'd be able to really see where you're coming up short, you know, as far as progress goes and things that you need to be doing on a day-to-day basis to be able to move your business where it needs to go. So for the next 90 days, commit to tracking your progress, you know, finding out where are the leaks in your business. Where can you find time? If you're having a hard time finding time for things, then you need to track what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, period, and figure out where you can eliminate some of this time-wasting stuff. I waste time a lot, like checking email. I told you I'm addicted to Instagram. I know where I usually do that in bed, but I'm just saying I know where I have time left over that I could actually, if I stop doing that, then I could make more time to do things that are more productive, money-making activities in my business, so that way I'm moving my business forward every day, you know, and doing it in a way that gets me rapid results, because I know a lot of you here want success fast. And the thing is that it's only going to go as fast as you can move, but it's not going to, success is interesting because I don't believe that there's you know, fast gain, that, you know, I see a lot of people, they say, well, I did this in 6 months or whatever, and I don't believe that. That person had some kind of background, they had something going on that was like a stepping stone for them to reach results, you know what I mean, and start getting results like that. People start, I mean, all people start, you know, in different places. We all start somewhere. So I believe that success is a journey, that it's not something that, you know, I'm not telling you guys in 90 days you're going to be rich with Sisel. That's never going to happen. That's not what Sisel was even, the opportunity was even made for that. One thing that I really, that really opened my eyes when I started my business was when Jeffrey told me that, because I'm like, I want it now. I want to quit my job. I can't take it anymore. When is this going to happen? I'm actually a very impatient person. If you didn't know that. So he's like, are you kidding me? Did you know that, like, network marketing was created as a retirement plan? Like, for people to work it for 10 or more years so that they could retire nicely. Okay, so this is why the industry was created. Okay, so, you know, you can make it happen a lot quicker. I like to call it a 2 to 5 year plan because, you know, I think people can make it happen quicker, but do they? not usually. So I just want you guys to, I think that's interesting. I think it's a good goal to have for yourself, especially if you're in a job right now, or you're new to network marketing. I think a good goal for people to have is 5-year plan. I really do. I don't like to think it takes 10 years, but for some people it's, they work their business consistently for 10 or more years so that they can retire, nicely. We don't know where retirement's at, and that's really what the industry was created for. And I know, like, Jim's been around the industry a long time, so he knows, that's just that's what it was always created for. What ended up happening is people kind of got off onto this. People tend to believe that they can, that they should get results fast. We're in like a now mentality, like it's got to be fast, or if you don't see results now, then it's not going to work, and stuff like that, right? So what happened is people saw that people's reaction, they weren't sticking to the plan and all that stuff, so people had to hype it up. I'm not going to say I did because I wasn't around that long, but so they started hyping it up and making it sound like it was more like they could get rich overnight, right? And there is no such thing. There's no such thing as get rich quick or anything like that in network marketing. In fact, I believe in fast gain, fast loss. So if you have fast gain, count on having fast loss. That's the way it kind of works. Elliot, I heard you want to chime in.
Well, I was going to say lottery ticket, but that's not part of network marketing.
No, I don't know anybody that's won the lottery. Do you?
No.
I wish.
But somebody's got to win it. Somebody's got to win it.
But what happens is that's the same thing, fast gain, fast loss. A lot of the times, because they didn't earn it, what happens is they don't know what to do with it. They don't know how to invest it. They lose it all. They spend it. And they're stuck. We're starting back to where they were before they won the lottery. So the thing is to be smart about it, guys. So when you're building your business, you're building a foundation. And I think people kind of get a good feeling when I tell them this, because they feel like, I think a lot of times people see a result of other people and success of others, and they think that they are lacking something with themselves or their business or whatever, because this person's getting the results and why not them, or they're feeling inadequate in some way. But know this, that there is no race of how, everybody's got different backgrounds, everybody started differently, everybody has different talents, different, things that they do in their business. So know that everybody's different. But really what you want to do is you want to focus on the foundation, the longevity of your business. And that's something that I do. I'm not in a race. I know where I am in my business. I know where I'm going. That's all that matters. Seriously. I mean, that's all that matters. If you know where you're going, that's the only thing that matters. So all you need to do is to make sure that you're just taking that consistent effort, whatever that is for you, in your daily method of operation, knowing that you're going to do from noon to whatever, and you're going to, build your business consistently and continue to do that until when? Until you're done. I mean, until whatever it takes. How long it takes it doesn't matter to me. It shouldn't matter to you. Because if you really want something and you have the desire to, join a business and go out there and get it, you're not going to stop until you get it. There's no time frame on this. There's just not. I never put a time frame on stuff. I mean, I might say I want to achieve a goal by then, but if I don't, does that mean I quit? No, I don't quit. I'm not a quitter. I don't do that. That's not in my nature. Ask Jeff. I'm not a quitter. And I'm a strong person. I'll tell you, I was sharing a little bit about myself with somebody that was kind of feeling bad about where they're at in their life right now and stuff like that. And I say this to give you guys hope, because 5 years, well, how long ago? 6 years ago, 7 years ago? I was almost homeless. I was a single mom with 3 kids. I had 2 babies in diapers. I was on welfare. I didn't know how I was going to feed my kids. I lived in a ghetto apartment in downtown Elgin, Chicago area. And I tell you this to inspire you, though, that it's so possible. I mean, these things are the things that happened to me in my life where I know now, like, weren't me. They don't define me. They're short-term circumstances, and that's usually what everything is. And the reason why they're short-term is because I was willing to do what I had to get out of them. If you're not willing to do what it takes to get out of them, then they're not short-term circumstances. If you're not showing up to training, if you're not, making an effort to be on a wake-up call, a couple times a week or whatever, then it starts to become your fault. You know what I mean? Then it's like, if you're not doing something about it, then your circumstances aren't short-term. They're long-term until you make the decision to get out of them. For me, it was fight. I had no other option. And I've been through worse in my life. To me, it was, my kid's dad and we were together anymore, and I was by myself, and that wasn't easy. I had to hire a nanny and pull it together. My car broke down. I'm not kidding you. Like, in 113-degree weather, I had my air conditioning go out, and then the clutch went out, and then I'm like, crap, I have no money. Their dad had stole all my money, to be honest with you, and I was left high and dry. I had no money to get a new car, to fix my car. I had to reach out to my grandmother, who luckily took pity on me and helped me get out of that situation. Had to hurry up and get a place to live, and at the same time, I had 3 babies depending on me, just me, nobody else to help, so, except I had God, of course, but things work out the way they do, and I believe that situation made me a lot stronger in who I am today, and I have a lot more endurance than some people do, I think, because of circumstances like that, and I don't take them back. I've been through hell and back in my life many a times. I don't regret any of it. I know that some of my decisions put me in places like that. I take responsibility for that. I own my circumstances and where I was then, but I know that I take consistent effort on a daily basis, and I fight for my financial freedom every day so that my kids can go to a better college. That I never went to college. I didn't even graduate, guys. I dropped out of high school twice. I want my kids in college. I want them to have a future that I didn't have. You know what I mean? And these things are very important to me, and they're worth fighting for. So I fight, and I continue to fight every day. Because if I don't, then I'm going backwards. I'm going back to being homeless. I'm going back to being on welfare. I mean, these are not things that I can do, not when you have kids and you have people depending on you. So I wanted to share that with you. I don't share that really because I'm kind of ashamed, I guess. I want to feel, I don't like to think about those things. It's not something that anybody wants to think about. But I believe that, any circumstance that you're in right now, financially, you might be in a bad relationship. I believe that it's temporary, but it's temporary only because you choose to get out of it. If you choose to make the decision to change, you have to change. And that's consistent effort and changing. Changing, starting small things, that's fine. But you need to start somewhere, and you got to start changing things in your life, and that's progress when you start to change, because you're now I've given you some tips about tracking progress. So if that's just one thing that you take from today and you do that and you start to make that change in your life, and then you say, okay, I'm going to add 30 minutes of mindset training every day because I know my mindset sucks. And everybody needs mindset training. We all need it. Okay, and you start adding that into your daily method of operation, and you start doing that on a consistent basis. Your life starts to change. It might not change overnight, but it starts to go in a direction, and things start to become clearer, and start to, 90 days from now, you'll start to see a difference in you, in your business, and where you're at in your life. You'll start to see maybe even a light at the end of the tunnel. Okay. which sometimes that's just a relief to be able to see that bright light. Okay, so you can start to see some change, and then you do it the same thing, but maybe you're going to say, you know, I've done that, I've tracked the progress, I've done that, but now I need to, you know, talk to 10 or more people instead of 5 or more people a day. You know, and we start making these progresses even with ourselves, and now we're getting better because we're getting more time efficient because we're tracking our progress. We have a daily method of operation, so now we're finding time to do more things for our business, and things start to get better, and we start to grow in that direction. And I promise you, you will see dramatic changes. Dramatic. Eventually, it just happens. There's no way. You cannot plant a seed and not reap the reward later. Remember that. These are seeds you're planting now.
True that.
True that. That's all you got to say about that?
No, it's a great story.
It's a true story.
I'm glad you shared it.
Yeah, I shared, I think, with you a little bit, but the truth is, and we're in family right now, is that my kid's dad was a drug addict, and that's why I ended up losing pretty much everything. He was behind my back doing drugs. I never did it, but he was stealing from his family to go get drugs, and ended up getting himself into some trouble. And it was actually a very big blessing for me because I had a hard time leaving him because I felt bad for him. You know, I loved him. I was codependent. So it taught me a lot about myself, and it taught me a lot about how to choose better men. I mean, look at Jeffrey's a great father to my children, and it's opened a lot of doors for me in that way. So I don't regret it because I know where I wouldn't be. I know where I might be if those things didn't happen to me, and they're a blessing, you know. But it was hard at the time. I was like, why is this happening to me? You know, I was 26 years old. I was still pretty much a kid, you know. You know, it's just I was young, and my kids were young, so you know, I don't think I had the capacity to really understand what was going on at the time, but I knew that I just had to take care of my kids, and so that's what I did.
Wow, what a story.
Yeah, yeah.
Inspiring.
Yeah, so just I say that just because I want you guys to know that, you know, these are circumstances, you know, short term. Even when you're building your business, you're starting at 0 right now. We all started at 0. We all started at 1, 2, 3, and eventually, you know, because we've taken a consistent action and we've, you know, mastered certain areas of skill sets and things like that. We grew as people. I mean, things start to really change dramatically. I wouldn't recognize myself back then. It's hard for me to even consider, like when I look back to, you know, 7 years ago, I think it was 7 years ago, I don't recognize myself. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's not me to me. Because I've changed, I've grown as a person, I've completely changed my outlook. I mean, the industry is, seriously, network marketing has changed my life. I didn't know anything. I didn't even know what mindset meant. I was never taught anything about mindset. My mom never told me anything. My stepdad he was in sales, and he would do some reading of, you know, how to be a salesperson, and he would tell me that, you know, I was sick because I thought I was sick, and, you know, power of mind stuff. But I seriously did not know about mindset. Like, that's not where I came from, and because I really tapped into, and I really got on every wake-up call. I still do. I got on every training I could. I mean, I literally, like, if I was told I needed to do something, I went and did it. If I was told I needed to, you know, like I heard I should read The Compound Effect, so I immediately, somebody said it was on YouTube, so I immediately went and started listening to it. You know what I mean? If somebody says this is good and this will help you, that I respect, a mentor, a leader on this team or whatever, then I do it. You know, because I want it. I want it, guys. I want things. I want my kids to have a good life. I want a legacy for them. I want them to have things that I never did. I'm already home with them, so I'm done with that. But I want to, you know, I want to be able to send them to the colleges and all of these things, you know. So those are some goals for you to think about. So guys, I'm done. Unless anybody has any questions, you guys got any thing that you're kind of stumped on with your business, or I mean, I'm here. I'll hang out for that. Let's see, anybody? I track websites. Oh, I didn't know there was questions here. This will be my pre-quarter 3. Okay, so everybody's kind of not having questions tonight. I thought I turned on the questions for people that are watching, but maybe I didn't. Oh, I guess you can submit questions. If you're watching and you want to submit a question, you should be able to submit a question. I'm not using the new webinar platform. I probably should have used it. I was going to have Elliot set it up.
Well, we can't really do that if you want people on live.
Oh, you can't? Okay.
Everyone would have to be an admin. It wouldn't work very well.
Okay, never mind. We're not doing it then. That's good to know. Sorry, I'm going to close it out. Here's what I want you guys to do. Don't worry about what Elliot said. Elliot bursted our bubbles earlier. It's June.
Oh.
We're halfway through the year, pretty much. Almost at the end of June we will be. But here's what I want you guys to do. I really want you to commit to your business. And it's not because I want you to commit because I override everybody. It's not that. I want you to commit because I know I want you to change your life. You know, I seriously do. I know that 5 years from now or whenever, you're going to look back and you're going to say, I was so glad that I joined Sisel International and that I put consistent effort into my business and my financial freedom so that my family could, you know, so I could be home with my family or whatever it is that you really want in life. I know you will. I know you'll look back on even today and you'll be like, I'm just so glad that I did that. And however long it takes, it just takes as long as it's going to take. Don't put time frames of, you know, I hear people sometimes are like, well, I'll give it a year, or I'll give it 6 months, or I'll see if this works in 90 days. It doesn't work that way. I can't believe sometimes when people say that to me, and I'm not laughing at you because I'm
drinking, April, I've been drinking eternity, and I'm not rich yet.
What the hell? What's wrong with you? No, seriously, that's not how it works.
Oh.
You're done when you're done. That's it. You will be done when you're done. You will reach the goal when you reach the goal. You won't. It doesn't matter if if you don't reach the goal in a year and you quit, then I feel really bad for you. If you don't reach the goal in 5 years and you quit, then you just wasted 5 years and you quit. For what? When in 6 months later you could have had it all? I don't know. You know, you never know. Elliot just sponsored somebody who's just going crazy. But out of how many people that you sponsored that, you know what I mean? I mean, it's just, that's the way it works. It's a lot of time, a lot of effort you're building. But like Jeff always used to tell me, you're always one person away from an explosion.
Slowly but surely.
You are always one person away from an explosion. But even then, you are the captain of your ship. You're the person in charge. You're the one that needs to go out. I go out every day and I expose people to Sisel. Every day I go out, and it's not just through marketing. I talk to people on Facebook. I connect with people that contact me, people that come in as a lead. I call them. I get, you know, I constantly exposing people to my Sisel business. You know, I know that I want to sponsor 4 more people per month to my Sisel business. That's my goal, 4 or more. Anything less than that, then I know I was lacking somewhere. Something was not right. You know what I mean? So that's the plan. If you really want to build your business in Sisel and you want to have a lot of people joining you in Sisel, then it's the consistent effort you're putting in now, not next year. This now. Now.
All right, I got it. I got it.
Now. Who's ready? Who's ready to rock Sizzle? Seriously. I don't see any excitement.
Crickets.
Right
Jim's
here.
ready.
Right
There.
here.
Yeah, commit.
Gotta hop into it.
I'm telling you, Sizzle has got it going on, and I'm not even going to try to sell you guys on Sizzle, but Sizzle has got it going on. And I have never had such an easy time. I mean, people take a look all the time because
You don't have the show.
the Sizzle. I did earlier, but it's so hot in here. I'm telling you, I just had to. I don't know who keeps messing with the air. That's why I had to jump off really quick. I had to go adjust the air. Like, it's hot. I had to put a tank top on. I had my Sizzle lean shirt on today, actually, and then I got too hot and I had to take it off. So, all right, so I'm gonna shut it down. We're gonna stop recording live. If you want to hang out for a little bit and tell me what's up and chat with me, that'd be cool. But I'm going to end this live broadcast. Thank you, everyone, for coming on with us tonight. I love you all. I love this team. Sizzle Global Team Takeover Team rocks. Sizzle rocks. See you guys next time. Bye for now.